Welcome to today's video where we will be discussing deploying a transect line over coral. This is our diver Brad, and he's going to show us how to deploy a transect line. Our first step is to identify a starting point. This is typically going to be some rocky outcropping, preferably devoid of coral, or live or healthy coral. We want to secure our line to that by wrapping it around a couple times. After we have it secure, we want to find an even meter mark where we will start at. So we get to the 1 meter, we add a few extra wraps around our starting position to make sure everything is taut, and we have a place to start. Once our direction is chosen, we start swimming in that direction, just letting the transect line run itself out. This keeps the line taut. It also protects any sensitive coral life that we may encounter as we are going. You want to make sure your buoyancy is under control, and you want to swim smoothly and effortlessly. As we continue, as we get close to the full length of our transect line is going to run, we can determine that length, make sure that we have the entire measurement that we're wanting to collect. Make sure the line's straight, it's not hung up on anything. Okay. So in this case it was 12 meters. Now we find a place to secure the line to. Again, it needs to be some type of rock. We'll do a couple wraps to make sure everything stays. And then lay down the reel in a way so that it doesn't affect any of the aquatic life around it. Thanks, Brad. Now, for the actual sampling of the transect line, we start at one end. It can be either end. We give our measurement marking along the transect line, and we record all coral species that we see living within some predetermined distance of the transect line. Brad pointing out the different corals that he sees and is tallying them. If there is some question as to size or distance, you can make those determinations typically with your hand. The most common distance is 1 meter, and we'll try that. Now, for finishing up the transect line, after it's done, you'll go back, unravel at the end. Once you have the reel up, stay above the coral, and just use the tension in the reel to pull yourself back. Notice Brad is not putting any effort into swimming. He's just along for the ride and pulling himself back in. By elevating yourself, you're keeping the tape off of the coral, and you can go smoothly and slowly. You want to make sure that you keep the tape from getting tangled anywhere. Sometimes with currents it can happen, and so you might have to fight it just a little bit, but again, you don't want to put too much effort. The more slack that develops in the line, the more likely you are to have curls and kinks. Once you get close, unwrap from the starting point, and then reel that last little bit in. Once it's all in, lock the tape mechanism so that it doesn't fall out, and secure it back to your BCD so that you're good to head back to the boat. Thanks for watching. Midland Dive Association.